Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. It's glad to see all of you again. Got something a little different for you today, different for me at least. This is a 2010 Pescarello Judd Oak Racing LMP2 prototype. I've only got two prototypes in my collection right now. One's an Audi and this was the second one. I picked this up just simply because I got a pretty good deal on it on eBay, and it looked really interesting. I don't have any open wheel prototypes at all in my collection. And there's a bunch out there on eBay, so I figured I'd pick this one up to see what it was like, and kind of surprised it's pretty cool. As you can tell, it's got the old style packaging, typical of the 2010 season. You've seen a couple of my other cars that were also 2010 models, this one being no exception. It has the French 24 Hours of Le Mans on the front of the package. It's got that silver backing in the back and along the side, so that it reflects the car in there. Smart from a presentation point, I think. 24 Hours of Le Mans, 2010. P2 number 35 in the back has the picture of the track. All very, very cool, and I think the bottom just has all the official licensing information, Spark, 24 Hour Le Mans, so forth and so on. So there you have it. So why don't we open up, take a peek, and I'll tell you a little bit about this car. Oh boy, that was tricky getting the top off. I didn't realize I hadn't opened this car yet, so I had to pull the little tabs that they have on it that secure it to the base, and it was tough getting it off. But this is a Spark model. It is resin, it's sealed. It does have open parts just because it's open cockpit, but otherwise it wouldn't have any. It's attached to a wooden base, very, very nice. This one done in this cream color. This is not a limited edition model because it's one of the 24 Hours of Le Mans collection. So it is what it is. But a little bit about Oak Racing and the Pescarello Judd. They're a French racing team that specializes in prototypes. Based in, guess where? Le Mans, France. Couldn't be more appropriate, could it? Won Le Mans in 2013 and the FIA title. 2010 was the last year that they competed in the LMP2 class. And interestingly enough, you'll take a look at the tires on here and the wheels. They were a development team for Dunlop tires. You don't see that on a whole lot of cars. Most of the ones that I have in my collection are Michelin. But these are Dunlops, very nicely done, as you can see. See the nice black wheels, the brake rotors, the brake calipers, typical of what you would expect from Spark. This is a Judd-powered engine, and it's owned by former driver Jack Nicolay. I personally don't know who the guy is. I just looked it up, and that's what I found. Anyhow, really cool shape here. It's a unique looking car, as all the LMP2 are. I'm more used to the closed cockpit ones than the open cockpit, but I thought this was kind of interesting from that perspective. Take a look from the top. You can see the driver's compartment over there on, I guess, what you would call the right-hand side. The British, I'm not sure what they call it. Here in the States, we sit over on the other side. Whatever that is. Interesting, I noted that the emergency switches for the electrical components as well as the fire extinguisher are on the other side, or not on the outside, you typically see with most of the sports cars. But you do have that interesting black and pink livery. The louvers behind the over above the front tire well and on the side are kind of interesting to note, a little bit different. Take a look at the front of it. It kind of looks like all these made-to-race prototypes that you see. They're all just a little different as far as their styling. The front spoiler, I think, is kind of unique looking, headlights and the likes. Very, very nicely done. I think a really attractive car. I do like the black and pink. It's certainly different from what you see most of the time there. But very, very nice looking front of the vehicle. The flat black. The headlights look really sharp. Very nicely done. The front spoiler is very, very neat. We'll move it around here a little bit and take a look at the cabin. Now, the drivers, like I say, 2010 was long before my time. Got a bunch of nice aerials, too. You see, I don't know, you can see one on top of the number 35, kind of an odd place for it. There's a second aerial in, I guess we'd call the passenger compartment of the car. Also kind of strange. And then you have the wind speed area on right there, almost right in between the driver's side and the passenger's side cabin, if you want to call it that. Anyhow, so 3 aerials on the car. Oh, a fourth one. There's another one there on the driver's side as well. I'm looking at it, I'll point my finger to it. You kind of sort of don't want to hit it or touch it, but you can see it right there. Anyhow, so there's 4. Like I said, I haven't opened this up, so you're looking at it for the first time, as well as I, this closely anyway. Again, very nice details on the wheels. You see the 24 Hours of Le Mans, number on there. P2 indicates the class. The LMP2s. You have the three lights there on the side by the leader lights, I guess, as you might call them. The drivers are Lahey, Charouz, and Moreau. Moreau's a familiar name, but I don't think I know that Moreau. But anyhow, very, very cool. Let's see if we can take a look in the cabin here and see what you do see if you look into it. You've probably seen the seat belts from a distance there. You can see that. And you see, look, there's a fire extinguisher, I believe, right beneath the seat. What a terrible place to put a fire extinguisher, but I guess if you need it and you're the driver, you want to reach into it, it's there. There you've got the steering wheel. You can see some of the details of that. Not too bad. It's a neat-looking cockpit, so to speak. You kind of expect, if you got an open cockpit, you got to have a few details in there, particularly if you're a Spark. Spark is well known for that, and I think they've done a very, very good job with that. You folks can see that in there. You've actually got no plastic in the way, so it should be better than it is. But anyhow, good-looking car. Let's take a look at the back here. I love the shape of it, so to speak. I look for the exhaust, and I'm thinking, a lot of times with the LMP2 cars, the exhausts are on the side of the car. I didn't see it. We'll take a look at it again. I'm looking back here, and some of the old prototypes, the exhausts are along, this area of the car, I guess. I don't see that here. I do see the tow hook, I see some of the louvers and things like that, but I don't see an exhaust. And I see support structures for the rear end of the car. I don't see an exhaust anywhere, so I'm not sure. Maybe the exhaust is on the side. Let's take a look at that again. See if we can find an aha. There it is. Almost overlooked it. You can see that right front of the rear wheel. That's where the current LMP2 cars have, the ones that are made by Oreca, all have the exhaust coming out there. So there it is. It's not very noticeable. It just looks like a little hole. I wouldn't say it's the most impressive side exhaust I've seen come out of a Spark car, but, hey, it is what it is. Neat-looking vehicle. I think kind of sharp. Like I say, I'm not real familiar with this car, so I had to look up a little bit of the information on as far as the history of the team, so forth and so on, kind of see how it fit. You don't see a whole lot of LMP2 cars typically available. Usually it's it's the DPIs or the LMDHs or the DTPs, whatever you want to call them. But lately I have seen quite a few of the LMP2s, both open and closed cockpits. And I thought this was just an interesting model and a really cool looking one. And notice it says Team Mazda France on there. So it does make me wonder if that engine, if it's a Mazda engine, is that a rotary engine? I don't know. What are your thoughts? Anybody knows something more about this car? Let me know, please, if you're reviewing this video. In the comments, let us know what your thoughts are, what more you might know about it. Are we right? Am I wrong? I don't know. Always like to learn a little bit more about everything that I own. But like I say, I just received this one not too long ago, just a couple weeks ago. So I figured I'd go ahead and pull it out of the box, which I did for the first time, let you guys see it. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks. Take care.